Okay, what we'll do now is we'll start to put the roof over this main part of the factory, part of the building. So might as well, in preparation for that, drop down the layer and change to the roofing layer. So we're currently on the roofing layer now. I'll still work on this back portal area. I'll have a bit of a calculation now about where the outside surface of the roof sheeting might be. We've done this in class, but I'll open up my calculator again. We'll just clear all of that. Now the same set out point to we'll use a 150mm purlin on the roof sheeting. The centre line of the bolt hole supporting that purlin would be 55mm plus 30. So if we do our 55 plus 30, that's the centre line of the purlin, and if I add half of the thickness of the purlin, which is plus 76, sorry, clear all that out again, sorry, 55 plus 30 plus 76 takes me to the outside of the purlin, and then the thickness of the roof sheeting, if we use a roof sheeting like spandeck, that's a 24mm thick roof sheeting, so we'll add another 24mm there, equals. So that gives us 185mm off the rafter. So if I go and grab, say, the offset tool, which is here, we haven't used the offset tool yet, and come to the centre of your rafter, and there's still a centre line left there on the top edge of the rafter member. So I'm just going to grab that. It's a little bit difficult, you might have to just undo and try that a couple of times to get it right. Just carefully click on edge, drag up, I'm undoing it again, try and orbit to a different direction if it doesn't work for you, on edge, until you get it to, might have to drag it, yeah, okay, sorry, I was clicking and letting go. Just click and drag better. Get it to go in this upward direction. You probably should be able to now just let it go anywhere, and then type the real distance you wanted, which was 185. Press enter. I'm not too sure that that snapped back, so I might try that one again. I'm just going to offset this time. Since it didn't work, as I'm dragging, I'm going to type 185 and press enter. And that appears to have gone to the right place. Okay, now at the same time, so that'll give me an offset 185mm away. Yes, I was just checking that was right. 185mm away to the outside surface of the roof sheeting. Now, if I can finish that off by drawing a line from that at 15 degrees down, the easiest way of doing that might be to go and grab my tape measure tool. And with my tape measure tool, I'll come onto this centre line in the middle of the rafter again, and I find that this is a bit confusing sometimes as to which direction you're going, but you can actually see I'm offsetting in the red axis direction, which is not what I want to do. I want to select straight up in a normal direction, and I find the best way to achieve that in these rafter situations is if you bring the tip of your tape measure, straight up above, you'll find it does seem to snap into a plane vertically up. And while I'm hovering there, if I type the 185 and press enter, I'll get a 185mm offset, and you can see that construction line's nicely blending with this curve that we put in before. I'll come back and give some roof overhang into the gutter. We did a 1500 overhang on this outrigger member, so to make sure I get a roof overhang, I'll do 1600. Get green axis happening. There we are, green axis. The perspective is throwing me out here a little bit. It might be red axis I'm after. Better zoom out. No, it's green axis. So in green axis direction, in that direction, we want 1600. Okay, so I can now, while I'm in the roofing layer up here, I can now draw a line from that intersection that we created to up here at the curve. If you just come along until you find end point, you'll know you've joined onto the end point of that curve. We repeat that process then on the other side. I'll have to go and grab my tape measure. I think it's best if you erase these construction lines as you go, like I keep saying, that they will get in your road otherwise. Zoom up and orbit around a little bit so I can grab my tape measure so that I can come straight up the page, straight above, and do my 185. It's blended just nicely. I'll need to create this other 1600 dimension out here. So the best way of doing that is I really need another construction line temporarily for the outside of that column. So coming back to this axis over here, the blue axis, if I go, the width of this building in the green axis direction was 24,900 from memory. That appears to have got me in the right place, and then if I go a further 1600 from that. So 1600. Okay, and then I'll grab my pencil and we'll go from that intersection up to this end point here. Clean up all the construction lines, and we've got a nice curve for the roof, so we can probably fairly quickly then, well, we'll leave that set at that because there's another point we need to do next. So once again I'll do a bit of a save, stop the video at that point, and we'll finish off the roof in the next session.